you're doing well, and if you are not subscribed yet to my channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button. And there is butter. So today we are going to talk about empaths. Now, I'm personally an empath, and I didn't even know what an empath was until I had my very first tarot reading. And the psychic that I went to, who's also a witch, she looked right at me and immediately told me that I was an empath. And I was like, I don't know what that is. So she explained it to me, and I agreed with her. So I grew up getting told that I was overly sensitive or that I was high strung, and I was always very anxious. And you know, I used to look at being overly sensitive as such a negative thing, but I've come to realize that it's not. It's one of those things where it's your biggest strength, but also your biggest weakness. But I would rather care too deeply than not at all. But the term empath is used to describe a person that has a higher degree of empathy than most people. They are extremely sensitive to both emotions and the energy of others. Now, people often confuse empathy with the term sympathy. Now, these are actually two very different things. So butter is actually, I moved out of the way a little bit just so butter could be in the video. So empathy is the ability to connect with a person in a way that allows you to understand what they're thinking or feeling. And I guess where and actually have a lot of trouble with this is because I understand so deeply how people feel and when they're hurting and how certain things hurt, that I know that I wouldn't do something to somebody. So then when it happens to me, it literally destroys me. But showing empathy is literally putting yourself in another person's shoes. Now, this is something that empaths can do on a much greater scale than the average person. Literally they feel what others feel, even if they're not going through it themselves. Like, it will affect their mood, it will destroy them internally. So with sympathy, you're not experiencing another's emotions. So you don't feel what they're going through, but you can relate certain feelings towards them. So humans are literally just vibrations of energy, and we always exchange this energy with the environment around us. So empaths are basically like a sponge. They literally just take on the world, emotional wise, and just kind of soak it all up. I'm actually doing a ton of research right now to try to figure out what works best for me as far as, you know, coming to terms with all of everybody's feelings. Essentially, like, just soaking up all of those other energies and having it not impact me in such a negative way. Like, basically so that I feel like I can function more. Now, empaths are often guided by intuition, and they kind of feel their way through the world. They absorb both positive and negative energies. So you don't get to choose. And this can be fulfilling, but also very dangerous. I know that I walked into Forever 21 the one day, and I literally looked at Jeff and I was like, I have to get out of the store. I can't be here. Because it was making me feel dizzy. My vision was becoming blurred. I felt like just a weight on my chest. It was so terrible. Now, having one or more of these signs doesn't necessarily make you an empath, just as, an absence of a certain trait doesn't mean that you are not highly sensitive. One trait is that you wear your heart on your sleeve. So, empaths are known to be very highly sensitive or overly emotional, which anybody that truly knows me knows that I am. So basically, we tend to wear our hearts, or we tend to wear our feelings. So people always know what we're thinking. It is very obvious. Like, Jeff always knows when I'm in a bad mood, as well as other people. Like, it's very obvious to tell. It's very obvious to tell when I'm stressed. It's very obvious to tell when I'm really happy. I don't hide my emotions. I show all of my emotions. Basically, you have a tendency to show your emotions in a very vulnerable and open way. And if you do that, there is a chance that you could be an empath. Now, the next one is that you're a nature and animal lover. So empathic people are especially good with animals because of their compassionate hearts. Now, I remember I literally used to I still talk to my cats, but I used to sit there. I grew up with 5 animals, and I used to sit, and that's just like dogs. And I had cats when I was really young. But anyways, I used to just sit there and talk to them. Just sit there and talk to them. I would talk to other people's animals. I have never had an animal be straight up mean to me or not come to me. So the interesting thing, though, is that a lot of empaths, as they increase their awareness, they'll actually give up eating meat because they will actually start to absorb the feelings of the animals. Now, empaths are drawn to nature, and being outside can actually increase their ability to recharge. Now, I can absolutely attest to this because I can be having an awful day and Jeff and I will go on a walk and I'll feel a lot happier just because I'm out in nature. So there is some insensitive people out there who will refer to people who really enjoy nature as being a tree hugger. And it's funny because it has been studied and proven that hugging a tree, like literally hugging a tree, can reduce stress and anxiety. Now, the next thing is empaths just know things. Essentially, you might know something instantly without any physical proof of it. And this has definitely happened. Like, I will hear a thought or something in my head, or I have a feeling about something, and like right before it happens. There are certain people that possess something called intuitive empathy, and this allows them to sense and absorb information from the bodies of others. Now, most of the time, this is done naturally, so without any effort. The next one is that your mood fluctuates a lot, which, yes. Now, empaths are sometimes misdiagnosed with having a mood disorder because of so many ups and downs. Now, these ups and downs actually come on from taking on a lot of different energies, often negativity from others. Now, the next one, the final one, is you have a low threshold of pain, violence, and noise. Now, minor injuries, immunizations, and otherwise painful experiences can be really difficult for highly empathic people to handle. Now, I can't watch too much violence, otherwise it starts affecting me. And I don't really like the idea of, violence anyways, but I'm fine with immunizations. They don't really bother me, but noise is definitely a big one for me. When things are too loud, it really just drains my energy and puts me down a lot. Wait, there's one more. That wasn't the last one. So the last one is you stay sick and tired, literally. So I am always tired, but granted, I'm not sleeping. And I also have insomnia, so there's that. But there are many people that believe that all physical illnesses actually start with a negative emotion. If this is true, it explains why so many empaths actually stay sick or are always chronically fatigued. Like, I am always tired. I always have bags under my eyes, and I can't remember the last time I got 8 hours of sleep. So I'm going to list a couple different questions, and I'm going to say which ones are me, and you guys can see for yourself which ones are you. So these are different questions to see if you are empathic. Now, I just keep track of the amount that you are, and that will actually show what scale your empathic range is. So 1, do you feel different or as if you don't fit in with others? Now, personally, I have always felt this way. I've always felt like an outsider, and not even like where people would purposely make me feel this way, but just, I don't know. I just always felt like I was different. So the next one, are you able to feel the pain of people and animals? Or animals. It doesn't have to be both, but. So yes to both for me. The third one, do these feelings tend to manifest physically? Yes, again, for me. Fourth one, do you know what others are feeling, even if they try to hide it? So again, yes. The fifth one, are there times when you or others feel like you are too emotional or sensitive? All of my life. 6, do you struggle with chronic anxiety or depression that isn't situational? Yes. What was that? 6? 7. Does noise, lots of movement, or certain smells make you feel anxious? I know for me this is a big one. A lot of noise makes me feel anxious. I'll come home and someone will be cooking something in another apartment, and I'll smell it in the hallway, and it'll cause me, like, just make me feel anxious. 8, do you avoid public places because they make you feel overwhelmed? I do, but I do love Target. I do love shopping. I do love fairs, things like that. So I kind of push that anxiety aside to still do those things. 9, do you feel drained after being in large groups? So personally, I don't like large groups. They make me shut down. I've been actually knocked for the way that I act in large groups because I get really quiet. But honestly, they make me uncomfortable. Like, groups of more than 4 people, maybe 5, actually make me very uncomfortable. And it's not that I don't like the people. It's just simply I don't need to strive to be the person always talking. Now, 10, is your mood affected by the emotional state of others? Absolutely. 11, are interpersonal relationships with others hard for you to manage? 12, do art, literature, and music move you emotionally? I literally pick apart songs, so yeah. 13, Do you avoid conflict with others because of the way it makes you feel? Now, I used to do this because it makes me feel awful, like absolutely terrible. It will destroy my multiple days. It will completely bring my energy down. I hate it. But I was beginning to notice how much I was actually getting walked all over and pushed around. And I actually have recently started sticking up for myself, and it's caused me to get knocked quite a bit because I'm standing up for myself. And I don't really see how that's fair, but that's just my opinion. 14. Are there times when you mimic accents or mannerisms of others without meaning to? I will randomly say a word, and Jeff will be like, where did that come from? I've never heard you say that before. 15. Does multitasking seem overly difficult to you? Yes. 16. Are you connected with nature and animals more than the average person? I think so. 17. Do people tend to come to you for help with their problems, especially working in retail and like the fast food industry? It would literally happen all of the time. I've even had people do it when I was like shopping. 18. Are you affected physically or emotionally by violent images or videos? I am. It literally tears me apart to see something awful. 19. Do you overeat, drink, smoke, or engage in other unhealthy habits to deal with strong emotions? I don't really overeat, but I still do, but I don't really have a go-to anymore. But I used to, anytime I was upset, I'd go to Arby's and get onion rings. When I was having a really, really bad day, I would eat strawberry frosting. And then hot fries was always like I'm having a bad day, I don't feel good, like something. But I don't really do it anymore, so I'm not gonna personally count that one for me, just because I just don't do it anymore. And then 20. Do certain medications or caffeine have a strong effect on your physical or mental state? Not so much for me. So if you answered yes to 8 or more of these questions, you have greater empathic abilities than the average person. So 12 or more suggests that you are a hyper empathic, which would be an empath. So I have 17, so definitely more than 12. And I want to know how many you guys have. So definitely comment how many you have down below. Now, there are different ways to dealing and how to deal with being empathic and being an empath. So lots of effort and patience is required to deal with this. You need to balance your energy centers. So many believe that the absorption of others' negative energies have to do with overactive chakras. There are 7 spiritual energy centers that are located in a line starting just above the head and ending at the very base of your spine. Once chakras should be open, but you don't want them to be in overdrive. Otherwise, you can end up with the following effects of overactive chakras. So you can end up with experiencing a lack of inspiration, mental fogginess, depression, and emotional detachment, which would be an overactive crown chakra. You could be feeling overwhelmed, experiencing headaches or delusions, and experiencing nightmares, which would be an overactive third eye chakra. You could be over talking, gossiping, and being very critical and judgmental of yourself or others, which would be an overactive throat chakra. You could be struggling with codependency, tolerating too much from others, losing one's own identity, and saying yes when you actually mean to say no. And that's an overactive heart chakra. Now, you could also be fighting against a desire to control, perfectionism, stubbornness, and eating disorders, which is an overactive solar plexus, which is like right here. You could be being overly emotional, struggling with addictions, or feeling unable to let go of attachments, which would be an overactive sacral chakra. And then at the very bottom, an overactive root chakra can cause feeling angry, greedy, impatient, or even stuck. Now, chakra experts think that not fixing this problem can actually lead to blocked chakras. So to fix the problem, you have to balance your energy centers. Now, a very good way to do this is to use visualization techniques. So to prevent a blocked or overactive chakra in the first place, empaths can use shield visualization. So when you start to feel uncomfortable with either a person, a place, or a situation, just take a moment and imagine a beautiful shield or bubble of a white light surrounding you. Now, it should completely surround your body and extend out a few inches. Now, remind yourself that your shield is protecting you from toxicity. I don't know if I'm saying that. Toxicity, bringing in unwanted energy, and stress. It also stops your own energy from being sucked up by emotional vampires. Now, when you visualize the shield blocking unwanted vibrations, your body will essentially do the work for you. So you're basically thinking about it and it's coming into reality. Now, the next one is you need to set boundaries for yourself. Now, this is so important, and you need to disconnect from others who are toxic. You need to set those energetic boundaries. Now, you could do this by being aware of how you feel and what is causing these feelings. Take notice of your inner world and what things cause your energy to shift. Also, limit draining interactions by detaching from people who make you feel overwhelmed or drained. Now, a lot of empaths struggle with this because we feel disengaging is actually selfish. However, protecting your energy is very important, and it's not mean or egotistical. Now, the other thing is if those people are family, it doesn't matter. I know it's a lot harder when it comes to family, but at the end of the day, you do need to protect yourself. And you shouldn't have people around you that, one, don't care, and two, that make you feel so terrible. Now, the next one is use physical objects such as crystals, plants, and even noise-canceling headphones to help you set energetic boundaries. Now, you want to figure out what boosts your energy, and you want to focus on those things. So exercising, getting outside, eating good foods, watching your thoughts, and practicing meditations or yoga are all really good places to start. Now, another practice is to employ grounding. Now, this involves connecting to both yourself and the earth. Now, you can do this by placing your feet firmly on the ground and then sending any negative energy out of your body and into the field. The other thing you want to do is you want to meditate regularly. Now, meditation is important for anyone who wants to become his or her best self. Now, this isn't just for empaths, but it is very important for empaths to do. So some of the benefits include lowered stress and anxiety, better control of one's thoughts and attention span, stronger memory and self-awareness, improved immune system and energy levels, and regulation of mood and sleep. Now, simply find a quiet place and relax your body. You can sit or lie down, it doesn't matter. Then begin to focus on your breathing, taking in a few slow, deep breaths as you count or repeat some mantra of some kind. Now, doing so will allow your conscious mind, basically so you can go past your conscious mind and connect with your higher inner self. Now, this might feel a little strange at first, but if you keep trying for 20 minutes every day, benefits of meditation will actually start to manifest in your life. Now, the most important thing for empaths to do, though, is to detach from anyone who drains your energy or affects you negatively. It's not worth it. And it's not easy to do that, especially, again, if it is family or if it was a friend's, but it's not worth it. So I hope that this video helped you in some way. Again, personally, I'm still working on not letting my empathic abilities control me. So as I learn more about what works for me, I will definitely share those things with you guys. I hope that you liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have not subscribed yet, it would literally mean so much to me, guys, if you could hit that subscribe button. And I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day. And we, Sebastian, we'll see you next time. Say bye. Say bye.